King David is back with his poetic words. He wants to tell a story about trust, love, and kindness, as much as of betrayal, sin, and desperation. So, welcome to Leah's Bible Babble Songs. If we want to believe, the overhead text of this psalm aims at what happens in the second book of Samuel, more to what happened to David after he's been with Bathsheba, the woman that bathed in the rooftop. I get the feeling that David is trying to make amends of what he did, and at the same time blame his childhood to the point that he's almost borderlining to narcissism. He's taken some responsibility for his actions, but at the next sentence he's blaming his mother. In line 7 it says, "In guilt I was born, in sin I was made in my mother's womb." Some even says that this line is a proof of the thought of the original sin, or the hereditary sin, aka the sin that Adam and Eve committed in the Garden of Eden. We need to separate the Jewish point of view from the Christian point of view of when it comes to the original sin. For Jews, it was not so much focus on the sexual nature as it's got for the Christians. For Jews, it was more of how you lived, with a focus on individual responsibility for actions and the possibility of redemption through repentance. While for the Christians, the hereditary sin was a thought that was created a couple of centuries after the death of Jesus. I can talk forever about this, but I want to mention that in Genesis, the first book in the Bible, there is no connection between Adam and Eve and sexuality. I think I need to do a separate episode about this. So, back to the psalm. At the end of the psalm, King David is heartbroken. But why? Because of that God doesn't want to have